All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating piece of ancient wisdom literature, Proverbs chapter 4. Now, we're going to approach this not just as scripture, but as this incredibly powerful, timeless guide to living a good life, something that's been passed down for thousands of years. So, let's dive right in.
Right out of the gate, the text just lays its cards on the table. And this isn't some gentle suggestion. It's an urgent command. The whole idea is that no matter what else you get in life, money, power, anything, wisdom and understanding have to be your number one priority. They're worth literally everything you have. And that one idea right there is the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about.
So why this super intense focus? Well, the text basically frames the hunt for wisdom as the single most important investment you can ever make in your own life. Let's break down what it actually means by wisdom and why it's considered so incredibly valuable. Now, what's really key here is how this text defines wisdom. We are not talking about just accumulating a bunch of facts or being book smart. No, it's describing a practical skill. It's the art of navigating life well, of making sound judgments, and living in a way that is both good and successful. It's not just know what, it's the know-how for a life well lived. And get this, the way the advice is delivered is so personal. It's framed as a father talking to his son. The narrator literally says, "Listen, my sons, to a father's instruction," and explains how he was also taught by his father. This isn't just a stylistic choice. It's meant to hammer home that this knowledge is tested, it's vital, and it's being passed down out of pure love, with this deep hope that the next generation will thrive. Okay, this is where the text does something really, really cool. It personifies wisdom. It turns it from just an abstract concept into this powerful, active character in your life. So wisdom isn't just something you have, it's someone who's on your side, actively working for you. And here we see her first big role. Wisdom is a guardian. The idea is, if you hold on to her, if you live by her principles, she actively protects you. Think about it in modern terms. Good judgment is what helps you see the flaw in a bad business deal or sense the danger in a sketchy situation before you walk right into it. It's a real practical shield. But then the text takes it a step further, adding this emotional layer. It's not enough to just have wisdom. You have to love her. So what does that mean? Well, it suggests this deep commitment, making good judgment a core part of who you are. And in return for that kind of devotion, wisdom becomes more than just a shield. She becomes this vigilant guardian, proactively watching over you. So here's the crucial takeaway. Wisdom doesn't just play defense, right? Protecting you from trouble. She also plays offense. If you cherish her and embrace her, the text says she will elevate you. She'll bring you success, respect, and honor. So she protects you from the bad stuff, and she promotes you in life. It's an amazing deal.
All right, now we get to the central metaphor of the whole chapter. The text pretty much boils down all of life into one fundamental choice between two very different opposing paths. And the idea is that every single decision you make, big or small, is placing your feet on one of these two roads. And the way this contrast is described is just brilliant. The path of wisdom, the good path, is like a sunrise. It starts with light, and it only gets brighter and clearer and more certain as you go. But the other path, it's like deep darkness. There's no clarity, no foresight. People on that path don't even understand what is causing them to trip and fall. And the text does not pull any punches about this wrong path. It's not just a place where you make honest mistakes. It's portrayed as a place of active malice. The people there are described as being almost addicted to doing harm, feeding themselves on the bread of wickedness and the wine of violence. The instruction is crystal clear. Do not even set foot on it. Just turn away.
So this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. The source is presenting this choice as the single most important decision you will ever face in your life. Your direction determines your destination. The results couldn't be more different. A life of growing light and clarity, or a life of darkness and confusion.
Okay, so if the choice is that critical, how do you actually make sure you stay on the right path?
This is where the text shifts from the why to the how, giving us a set of really clear, practical instructions for navigating life the right way. And this right here, this is the absolute cornerstone of all the practical advice. Just notice the urgency, above all else. The heart in this context means your inner self, your thoughts, your feelings, your motivations. The text says this is the wellspring, the very source of your entire life. If the source is clean, then everything that flows out of it will be too. It all starts right here. So from that one core principle, we get this incredibly simple, actionable framework. It's like a 4-part system for life. First, guard your inner world, your heart. Second, watch what comes out of you, your words. Keep them honest. Third, control what goes in, your focus. Fix your eyes straight ahead on your goal and don't get distracted. And finally, be steadfast in your actions. Make sure your feet are on solid ground and you don't wander off the path. So if you do all this, if you chase wisdom, if you choose the right path, if you guard your heart, what's the big payoff? Well, this is where the text brings us full circle, coming back to the real, tangible rewards of living this way. And look at how practical these rewards are. A long life, a smooth journey where you're not getting tripped up, having security and confidence, even when life is moving fast. The text sums it all up by saying, this whole thing isn't just about your life, it is your life. And this is the final, really powerful image. Wisdom rewards you with honor and with glory, which is symbolized by this garland and glorious crown. It's just a beautiful metaphor for a life that's well-lived, one that isn't just successful and safe, but also noble, respected, and full of grace. So that brings us to a final thought, and it's a big one for us today. We live in an age of just endless information, right? Data's everywhere, it's cheap, it's constantly flooding our senses. But this ancient text makes a really sharp distinction between just knowing a lot of stuff and actually having wisdom. It asks us to pursue understanding, judgment, and character above everything else. So the question it leaves for us is this. In a world that is drowning in information, what does it truly mean to get wisdom?